And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, all around the world, wherever you are around Australia, to Saturday Night Motorsport. And we have the Weekend Warriors Cup Car Racing this evening, live from the virtual Richmond Raceway with the East Coast 240. Joining me this evening, I'm JP, and joining me this evening, we've got Mark Johansson in the commentary booth. Mark, how are you this evening?
Good, JB. Happy to be here, and welcome to all our race fans that are tuning in tonight.
Mate, it should be an absolute cracker of a night tonight. What have we got? 197 laps around the Richmond Raceway, with some of the best that Australia and New Zealand have to offer for Cup car racing.
Yes, mate. We got Ed Wood and JCW back and racing with us tonight. Unfortunately, we're missing one of the Kiwis, Barry Neal. He doesn't look like he's been able to join us tonight. So that'll make a few things easy for a few other drivers here tonight. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, really looking forward to what tonight has to offer. And I guess while we're talking about tonight and talking about this track, maybe we'll go straight to the track notes and go through and digest what this race is going to be all about tonight. So tonight we're at the Richmond Raceway for the East Coast 240. This track, 1.221 kilometres in length. We've got a 197 lap race for you this evening, so just over 240 kilometres in race distance. Pit speed limit is going to be 64 kilometres an hour. Now, these cars don't have pit limiters, so they have to rely on themselves to get into the pits as quickly as possible and maintain that 64 kilometres an hour. So you might see some people getting pit lane infringements, but they've been pretty good in the past. Fuel restrictions this evening down to 70.7 litres of fuel, which means they're going to have roughly two and a bit pit stops. I reckon most of the guys are going to be trying to do it in 2 stops. On average, the fuel burn is going to be 0.66 litres of fuel per lap, and they've got 3 sets of tyres tonight. The track is set to the 4th of September 2021, with the race start going to be at 8:20 this evening. Air temperature 20 degrees, track temperatures 21 degrees, 11 kilometres an hour is the wind speed, and it's coming from the southeasterly direction. So maybe, Mark, you can tell us a little bit more about this track.
Yeah, mate. The track was actually opened way back in 1946, just after the Second World War. It's known as the America's premier short track, and also the drivers know it as the action track because there's always action everywhere you look on the track. A little bit about the track itself. It's got 14 degrees of banking in the turns 1, 2, and 3 and 4, and it's 8 degrees of banking on the front stretch, with only 2 degrees on the back stretch. So it does build for some fast speeds. The fastest speed around here in the real world is held by Jeff Gordon with a 20.674 second lap at 210.1 kilometres an hour. That's very quick around here in under a kilometre and a half.
Yeah, that's not laying about, that's for sure. So this track promises to have some great racing tonight. What have we got? We've got about 20 cars on track for this evening, which for this size of track is going to be pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I still reckon some of these lead guys like your JCW, Edward Foster, even Paul Jackson, Scott McClintock. I think if they can stay out of trouble in those early laps, we'll see them guys starting to catch the backpack by about lap 30, I think.
Yeah, there's going to be plenty of strategy to play out this evening, that's for sure.
Yeah, I turned some laps here earlier today, and I can tell you, pit lane is going to be very, very tricky to get into here. You're going to have to make sure you're well down on your speed before you get there, and Yeah, I think you may see a few guys turn around as they come in the pit lane.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. And they're just about to finish up their practice session and go into the qualifying. So just before they do that, how about we have a look at the championship positions and see how the championship's stacking up so far. We're round 29 of a 35 round series, so let's have a look at that. And Darren McKenzie has a few fingers on the trophy, looking to sort of capitalise. He's been doing a great job for the season. He's sitting at 858 points second. Paul Jackson third. Dylan Davies. Fourth is JCW. Scott McClintock fifth. Sixth, Stephen Williams. Seventh, Barry Neal. Eighth, Adam Ariel. Ruben Phelps in ninth. Yourself, Mark, in 10th. Going over the page, and it's not working as we go over the page, so let's just close that and see if we can get it to open up again properly. No, not working for us this evening. Technical difficulties already.
That's just the sign of the week, I think, JP. I spoke to a few of the drivers earlier, and some of them have not had a good week themselves. So just let's carry on and do the best we can.
Definitely been one of those weeks, but anyway, yep, like you said, let's carry on. And they're into qualifying now, so JCW is setting the early benchmark.
Now, Andrew Dyson, he's only just joined the league, so it'd be interesting to see what he can do.
Yeah, he's looking really racy there. And I mean, 2 laps around here, that's going to go by very, very quickly for these guys. So they cannot make they can't make a mistake at all. They've got to really capitalise on this short track. And it looks like Andrew wasn't able to get it done. And so far, Josh Carroll Walden and Ed Foster are first and second.
It looks like it. Ruben's just popped up in the second there with a 21.58. So he's on song tonight.
One of the cars that we haven't seen out yet is Josh Micklemore. He should be out momentarily. Be interesting to see him do his lap.
Definitely, he's another one that's could take tonight's race. It's just going to be a matter of who stays out of the trouble the longest, I think, tonight, JP.
100%, mate. I mean, 197 laps. There's going to be a lot of racing to be done. Sure, this is a short track. But yeah, a lot of racing, a lot of strategy to play out, and we'll have that usual big run at the end for the last 20 or 30 laps.
Definitely. With the laps I turned here today, earlier, turn 4, as you come out of turn 4, and onto the D or the main straight, if you can call it the curve in the D a straight. That turn 4 wall comes up on you very, very quickly.
And here we go. Josh Micklemore already shown purple sectors, and he's thrown it away.
That's unfortunate, because he looked like he would have taken the pole there.
Yeah, he was on an absolute flyer, and then just coming out of turn 4, he just got it a little bit untidy, but that's all right. A lot of racing to be done tonight.
Most definitely. And there goes Paul Darby. He's thrown it away also. So a few guys getting caught out with the slipperiness of the track early.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's a new livery from Darren McKenzie. I didn't recognise that one, looking sharp with the Xbox One livery.
Yeah, he turned that out last week, mate. And unfortunately, we couldn't go to air last week. We had a few little issues, but we're back tonight. And yeah, he brought that car out last week, so it looks impressive.
Yeah, very, very good looking car. Looks like pretty much all of the drivers have set their times. So I think Dylan Davies might be on. No, he said his time. So that's it. Looks like qualifying has been completed by all the drivers.
Yeah, it definitely looks like only Dave Trathen and myself that's in the server that haven't, by the look of it, haven't set a time. So we might go back to the track notes while we got that little bit of a gap. I know if I can open them up again. So in the real world, this place actually belongs to Richard Petty. He has the most wins, most starts, most poles, most laps completed around here, and he also has led the most laps. Looks like the drivers are starting to line up.
Drivers are gridding up now, so let's go through the order for this evening. So starting on the first row, you've got Josh Carroll Walden, Ruben Phelps. Second row, Ed Foster and Andrew Dyson. On the third row, Mark Smith and Paul Jackson. Fourth row, Darren McKenzie and Tristan Koch. Fifth row, Aidan Schultz and Dylan Davies. Sixth row, Ryan Barber and Josh Micklemore, who had that off there. Seventh row, Adam Ariel, Scott McClintock. Eighth row, Daniel Aguilera Bates and Nigel Patton. Sixth row, Reese Belitho and Paul Drady. Jamie Nankervis and, well, you're not in there. You're in the booth here. And Dave Trevethan doesn't, I don't think he actually took to the track and set a time.
Some guys be choosing to not take a time and start from the back to play it safe.
Maybe a little bit of burning from the stern there this evening.
So you mentioned Mark Smith, JP. I just he's our lead rookie of the year. So he's looks like he may have sewn that up for the year also. The number 7.
Yeah, fantastic. Some of these cars, they're getting ready to go around on their formation lap. Some of these liveries are looking absolutely spectacular this evening, especially under lights.
I actually think this is probably our only second real under light race this year. Most of them been set to sunset races.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think this has been the second race where they've started at night, and here we go.
I think it's 2.
2 laps behind the pace car this evening. As you can see by the crowd, there's no COVID restrictions in the virtual world.
No, definitely not. Although JP is saying the 2 laps, the pace car lights are out. So, yeah, no, they're definitely going around for the second lap. So.
Pace cars bringing them around for the second lap. Just keep an eye on Josh Carroll Walden to drop the hammer. You know that JCW and Ed Foster are going to be talking, being in the same team. And watch for these 2 cars to just take off.
Yeah, JCW is a master at the start and restarts. He just seems to always, if he's at the front there, he always seems to get a good start.
You see there, Ed Foster's gotten right on the back of JCW now. And here they go.
Ruben will stick with him on the outside for a half a lap, I'd say, before he tries his slots either in front or in behind.
Oh, this big slide by Ruben there. I think he might have tried to turn down. He didn't realise that Foster was right there beside him, but he tried to turn down and then realised what was going on. Had to correct and then caught that slide.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see by that on-board shot there, or the roof cam, how close they are actually getting to that outside wall. We've got two Kiwis there together in Paul Jackson and Ruben. A little bit further down the pack now. I think they'll work in together.
Yeah, Andrew Dyson started right out. He started strong out of the blocks. He's right behind Foster now. Nice move by Dyson.
See by that on-board shot there, he just started to break loose and he just caught it with that quick right-hand flick of the wheel.
Yeah, 100%. I don't think Foster at this stage wants to go and fight anyone. You know, if Dyson wants that spot, he can have it.
Yeah, I think so. Just so people know, we've got a young fella that's on his second start with us. Oh, we've got to spin further back in the field. We're under yellow for the first time.
Looks like Nigel Payton and Ryan Barber have come to grief. Let's have a look at that on the replay. What's happened here? Looks like maybe they've come together. That's exactly what's happened. They've come together and both of them pirouetted like a pair of ballerinas.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Ryan may have come down on Nigel, but we'll wait and let the admin decide who's at fault there post race, and yeah. I was just going to say, JP, that the driver of the 5 car is only a 16-year-old young lad, and he's starting with his second time with us. He started last week, and he didn't do a bad job, and unfortunately, he's come unstuck early tonight.
Yeah, a bit disappointing, but I think he was basically just a passenger in all of that.
Yeah, I think so.
We're having a look at some of these amazing aerial shots brought to you by Track Cams for Gourmet. Some fantastic camera angles tonight.
I don't think you'll see many people dive into the pits early for any fuel. I think we'll probably see most of the guys get to around lap 90 on fuel, but it's going to be the tyres. I think the tyres, they'll probably start to wear out at about lap 40, 45. They'll start to get really skatey.
So this track's pretty aggressive on tyres, are they?
Yeah, yes and no. It depends on where you run. What I found, if you run up high, you definitely need some good rubber. But if you can stay down in that groove where the guys get the rubber laid down on the track, your tyres tend to last a little bit longer. So it just depends on where you want to run.
So we're looking at 3 sets of tyres or 4 sets of tyres for tonight?
I think it's 3 by memory. So I'm pretty sure we set it at the one set they've got on plus 2 more.
So they're really going to have to make their tyres last to get to the end of the race.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, yeah, with this track, with it being such a short track, it takes a long time for iRacing to bring them back under control and get them to grid up again. It's just one of those things, unfortunately.
One of those little quirks that you get with iRacing.
Yeah, definitely.
There we go. Looks like they're starting to form up again. Now, I did notice that Andrew Dyson's car was blinking a little bit there during that formation lap, or during those formation laps. Hopefully that's not going to affect him too badly and really affect the other guys around him tonight.
The race admin will keep an eye on that, and if it gets too bad, they'll ask him to drop to the rear of the field and try and fix it. And yeah, hopefully he doesn't have too much problem with it.
Right, safety car light's out, or we should call it pace car light is out, and they're going to get started again. JCW is going to bring them back for the start, and he decides to go early.
Yeah, definitely nice little jump there by JCW.
I think he caught them all napping.
I think so, and Edwards hanging out there in second, tough.
Yeah, he thought he'd have that have that early look at Andrew Dyson, but it doesn't look like that's paid off for him. He's down the bottom line though, down on the lower line, so he might try to keep Dyson up on the higher line, but no, Dyson's in front of him now, so they'll form up into one line and get back to racing.
Definitely, and good to see the 7 car up there, the rookie Mark Smith. He's holding tough in 4th, I think it is.
Yeah, with nice looking livery on that car.
Definitely is. The boys do a good job. A lot of these guys paint their own cars, and they put some time and effort into it.
Yeah, it's great to see the different liveries. Great to see what some of the guys do with their cars.
Definitely. And it looks like Andrew's taking the lead from JCW there, JP.
Let's have a look at that on the replay. On the simsnap.com photography replay here.
Just held tough on the inline and around the front section of the track. And Andrew was able to stick it up the inside and just pull away from him a little bit. So nice move there from Andrew.
Yeah, really nice move from Andrew, and great presence of mind from JCW. Once again, not even bother fighting that.
Definitely not. We'll just have to wait and see how everyone's tyres hold out. Everyone looks like they've started to settle into a rhythm, but maybe that's might have just put the commentator's curse on them, eh?
We'll see how they pan out.
I do know it's only early, JP, but why these guys are all bunched together and got a great railway line of them. Maybe we should go on board and just let the fans see the cranking up there coming out of some of the turns and see how close and how noisy some of the real life fans would see.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump on board with Andrew Dyson. Let's crank up the volume and let's go around with him for a few laps.
as we rejoin, we go focus on Paul Jackson. He sitting there in second in the championship, and battling with Tristan and Aiden Schultz.
Yeah, these guys are playing it really smart tonight. 197 laps. They don't have to do anything silly. Just maintain. They need to have a clean car for that last 30 lap run.
Yeah, definitely, JP. It's what a lot of people forget is the stock car racing or NASCAR racing is a marathon. It's not a sprint race, and by no means am I taking it away from any other form of motorsport, the V8s or any other GT racing or anything. It's really a marathon race. You can forget about the first 160 laps. That you've just got to get that ticket to that last 30 or 40 laps where you can really start to battle out.
Yeah, 100%. And strategy is everything. I mean, look, pace counts for something, but strategy really is everything on a track like this. A matter of fact, I was watching a race this morning at Richmond, and there was a driver that elected to do a one-stop strategy, and he was out there leading, and unfortunately, they had a caution with 10 laps to go. The rest of the cars pitted, of course, got some fresh tyres, and they absolutely murdered him.
Yeah, definitely. And realistically in this field, you've probably got 5 or 6 drivers that will be really looking for getting to that last 30 laps, and I think we'll see a ding dong battle there with the last 30 if all 5 can stay in there.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just see them at the moment. They're just really holding station, and no one's really trying anything. They're sizing each other up, and just circulating now. Where the real racing is going to come in the last 30 or so laps. Of course, if there's a caution period before then, expect people to be diving into the pits for fuel. But we probably won't be seeing people taking tyres early.
No, I'd say they will try and run their tyres out to about lap 60, try and get the most out of them. But saying that, lap 60 they should be pretty well shagged, and drivers will be really looking for a set of tyres under them.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's really going to set the cat. Here we go. Another caution. Looks like Aiden Schultz now has come to grief. Let's have a look at that on the replay. Oh, no.
No. I think Paul just went in there a bit hot, but again, it's only our view. Yeah, got in there and just got a nice little big, or not a nice little, but a big push up track and tagged the rear of him.
Let's see if we can see that from another angle.
Look, to me, it looks like Paul just went in there a fraction too hot, and got a bit of a push and come up into Aiden, and also got to remember the one different thing with for most other motorsports, there's no B pillar rule or anything like that in NASCAR.
Yeah, you have any form of an overlap in NASCAR, it's game on, isn't it?
That's right, and that's what makes it so close and hard racing, because people only just have to have that cigarette paper overlay, and they've got the right to that line that they're on. So it'd be interesting one to see what happens at the end there in the post-race.
Now, Mark, with this stopping and starting with the caution periods, is that going to help their tyre life, or is that going to hurt them with the constant cooling down the tyres and then having to bring them up to temperature again?
No, it should actually help them because it'll let the tyres cool off a little bit, and it only takes a lap or two to get the tyres back up to temperature, especially on these short tracks. So, yeah, it shouldn't hurt too much. It's only if they cool down a lot and they decide to get on the loud pedal too early out of a turn, and that's when you'll see, as they say, cautions breed cautions.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's good to see Darren sitting up there in fourth. So he's having a good run.
Yeah, Darren's probably been Mr. Consistency this season. He's not won many races, but he's just been there or thereabouts, on every single race, and that's why he's leading the championship.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking at the stats earlier this afternoon. He's actually out of we're on round 29. He's actually done 27 rounds. He's only won the one race, but out of that other 20 or so races, he's had 11 top fives and 20 top 10s. So it's Mr. Consistent.
Yeah, and that's where it all comes from. Here we go. We're getting ready for a restart now.
You can see JCW just hanging back that half car length, trying to anticipate the jump, I think.
Yeah, lights are out on the pace car. Let's see what Dyson does here if he goes early.
He did go early, but JCW has been able to stay pretty close to him. It'll be see what happens, what Edward does here, and see if they go back to single file.
Yeah, actually, the top five, they all anticipated that start beautifully. And have a look at this. Josh Micklemore up 9 places. He's come from nowhere, made his way through the field, and now he's sitting in third.
Yeah, great drive. Maybe he was testing the track limits there before when he lost it in qualifying.
Yeah, if I've learnt one thing, it's to never ever count out these top 4 drivers. Ed Foster, Josh Micklemore, JCW. They might be at the back of the pack, but certainly don't count them out because they will make their way back.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, as you can see there, Josh Micklemore already has made his way into second place, and I'd say here, right about now, he's lining up Dyson, and he's going to have a go at him in the next few laps.
Yeah, Josh looks like he's just running that half car length wider than most of the other guys. Just that half a car off that pole, where the other guys seem to be getting right down on that pole line.
Yeah, it seems to be working for him because he's just eking away from them, although Foster now is cotton onto that, and he's sticking to the back of Micklemore.
Yeah, definitely.
But it seems as though they're all working together now, and they're starting to reel in Dyson. Last lap, Dyson at 22.16, Micklemore 22.16, Foster 22.26, and JCW at 22.27.
The other person that's come back up is Ruben. Ruben dropped down there to about 10th at one point, and he's been able to come back up to, what's that, 6th place?
Yeah, Ruben had a shocker of a start there he didn't do too badly at the start, but he He turned in on Foster when he was on the low line, realised what was happening and had to bail out of it. So, which made him cough up a lot of places, but he's now slowly been able to gain those back again. And he's having a look at Mackenzie now. Now, we've seen Mackenzie usually goes out really hard and tends to burn his tyres up fairly early in the piece, but this time around, he's playing a longer game. He's not, it doesn't look like he's pushing as hard as he normally has been.
No, in the last couple of weeks, JP, he's really matured as a driver. I mean to say, by the looks of things, he's driving 3 or 4 times a week now. So he's really come on from the start, and you see him sticking with the lead guys a lot more, and making those tyres last again now.
Yeah, nice. Just there, we just saw a move on Nankervis by Smith there. Smith looks like he's pretty racy at the moment. He's having a look at Koch. Just made that move stick, and now he's motoring on, and he's starting to line up Phelps. Now this is interesting. Get the impression here that perhaps Micklemore, Foster and Carol Walden are going to start working together soon.
I think so. They run regular through the week in some other leagues, and they'd be looking to try and work together and catch Dyson. Let's gap the field a little bit. So just it'll be interesting who wants to take the lead out of these three, and it looks like Josh has decided that he wants to get out after him.
Yeah, I don't think the others are going to argue that too much. Although a bit further on into the race, that might be a different story.
Yeah, definitely. We're about quarter of the way through now, so.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's starting to find their rhythm now.
So we're half an hour in, so I'd say if we stay green, we'll probably see the race done under the 2-hour mark. So yeah, just have to see how everyone behaves himself later on in the race.
Yeah, look at this, lap 52 of 197 already. So people are going to start. They're going to start thinking about tyre stops. I
might see if I can jump down into one. Leave you here for a minute, JP, and jump down into one of the team chats and see if I can get an indication on tyre wear.
Here we go. Phelps is starting to make a move on Mackenzie now, and Mark Smith has ranged up on both of them, and he's looking very, very racy indeed. Yeah, he's really got a hold of this.
Unfortunately, JP, I haven't been able to get hold of anyone down there further in the race channels, but we'll try and go back down to them a little bit later and see how they are, how some of the guys are running.
Dyson's still holding them at bay, and just that little bit faster than the guys behind him. Last lap at 22.5. Everyone else in the 22.6s and 7s. Although Mark Smith did a 22.3 on the last lap, so he is absolutely on fire. He's on a charge.
I'm just down looking at positions 8, 9, and 10. Nice little battle there further back between Tristan, Jamie Nankervis, and Dylan Davies. I believe it is having a good little bit of a battle.
Yeah, very nice. And while you're doing that, we're watching Mark Smith now. He's starting to slowly range up on Josh Carroll Walden, just reeling him in every lap. Just 1/10 of a second, 2/10 of a second faster than JCW. He's going to be onto him right. Well, he's onto him right now.
I'm just looking at the screen. Did I miss something? Darren's back in 18th position.
I'm not sure. It looks like Darren actually pitted early.
Yeah, that's the only way I can see him being back down in 18th position.
Just looking at the replay here, he's gone into the pits. Has he gone in for tyres, or is he just fueled up?
He's taken tyres.
Okay, that's going to be an interesting turn.
I know I can hear in the background in my headset the in race chat. He's definitely on a move. He's just gone past Paul Darby, and he's coming on up the back of Daniel Bates and Reese. So he's definitely on a charge to come back through the field.
He's roughly lapping 1 second faster than most of the field at the moment. So he'll carve through the field very quickly. But by the time he gets to that to the pointy end of the field, his tyres are going to be looking very ordinary, and the guys ahead of him still haven't pitted yet for their fuel or tyres.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I can't say much about Dyson because I haven't had much to do with him, but I know the guys in Josh, JCW, and Edward can look after their tyres. So maybe we might see them run out to the full length of their tanks with being such cool weather.
I think that might be the plan for them to run their tank out as long as they can and get out for that last stint with the freshest tyres that they possibly can get.
Yeah, definitely. And Darren is definitely driving through. He's back up to passing the 8th position, but I think he may be a lap or two down.
Yeah, at the moment he's looking like he's 2 laps down on the leaders, so he really has to get a hustle on.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the risk at these short tracks. When you pit on the green, you definitely there's just nothing you can do about it, but you will end up going a lap down.
Yeah, I mean, he's decided to take that risk, and it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Wow, look at that.
You can see there by that pit entry how tight it is to get in there.
So that was Ryan Barber going into the pits there now. So he's decided to pull the trigger and jump in for his stop. Oh, big slide there by Darren.
Doesn't want that be doing that too much, otherwise he'd definitely burn off those tyres.
Now this could be playing into Foster's hands too. He's got Micklemore in front of him, but Micklemore's the pioneer, and Foster can save a little bit of fuel here.
Yeah, definitely. Won't be as much as like on the super speedways, but definitely running in behind someone will definitely save you a little bit of fuel. Okay, just further back in the pack, we've got Reese and both Daniel Aguilar Bates coming into the pits for their stop.
Now have a look at Foster here and Micklemore in front of him. These guys are you can see their cars are looking really clean as they're going through these corners. Yeah, they're looking after their tyres exceptionally well.
Yeah, most definitely. They're keeping it straight. There's no sliding of the car or anything like that.
And at this stage, it looks like Dyson's actually coming back to them. The last couple of laps, they've been a little bit quicker than Dyson, only a tenth of a second, but that's all it takes.
Yeah, I think he's caught up to some slower cars. I know he's just got past Scott McClintock, and Josh and that are catching Scott now, so he can be play nicely or play nasty.
And Scott's been the gentleman and just opened the door and let these guys go.
I was talking to Scott early on, and I know he said all he wanted to do tonight, excuse me, is get through this race clean. He's thinking about his championship, sitting there in 5th place, and he does have a chance to catch third if he can just stay clean for the rest of the season.
And that's it. Just need to pick up those clean race bonuses.
Most definitely.
So it looks like Scott's pulled the trigger now and he's in the pits.
Just heard over the race radio there, Jamie Nankervis is coming in this lap also. So everyone's starting to really dive into the pits and taking that first set of tyres on lap 80. So they've lasted a little bit longer than I thought, but they're definitely making them stretch that little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're looking to stretch out their stint as long as they possibly can. Oh, look at that! And just that take those their freshest tyres for their last stint with the least amount of fuel, and then go hard right up until the checkered flag.
Yeah, most definitely.
Nice little battle going on for 7th here with Schultz, Koch, Davies, and Drady.
Yeah, nice little dive there from Paul underneath Davies. But it hasn't been able to make it work for him, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on this battle. This could turn turn interesting.
Yeah, it's a good little battle going on here. Oh, have a look at that.
So the advantage has been just that one lane up, and you can keep the momentum going, and you don't have to use your brakes. You just let the roll of the car carry around the corner, and see Dylan there just that lap. Sorry, that lane higher than Paul.
Absolutely fantastic racing by these guys. Testament to them.
I thought we're going to go 3 wide there, and I was going to say that's not a real wise thing on a short narrow track. 3 wide, yeah, could be fun.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
But with those 3 battling there, Aiden's been able to get a little bit of a gap on those 3. So yeah, it's hurt him, but it's also sorted him out a little bit.
Absolutely, and all the while, Dylan Davies has been doing fairly well, but he's getting caught up now. So I don't know what's going on up the front. Let's go and have a look. So once again, Micklemore and Foster sort of taking time out of Dyson here, but they all of them will be starting to screen now, and this really won't be playing into Darren McKenzie's hand for the long game.
No, definitely not. Just watching the battle here with Edward in a lap car, and Edward's been wise and just let that lap car come back onto the lead lap there.
Ed's pull the trigger. So what does Dyson do? Does he press on, or does he go and cover off Foster? There he goes.
He's in.
He's in. Now we know Micklemore's fantastic at tyre conservation, but you would think he's going to cover them both off, and he certainly does that.
A little bit of a lock up there, so let's hope he got that pulled up before the control line.
Now this is going to be interesting to see what happens here. Let's have a look at Foster. We'll stay on board with him, see if he can use those new tyres to his advantage, because he's got clear air. And have a look at this. Davies has come out just in front of him.
Take a lap or 2 for Davies' tyres to come up, Dyson's tyres to come up. So we'll see if Edward can cover him off and get in front of him.
And it certainly worked for them. Coming in that couple of laps early certainly worked for them, and they've had the Foster's had the overcut on Micklemore. JCW was elected to stay out. He hasn't come in yet. I think this could possibly hurt him.
Yeah, definitely. As you can see in the background, the Edward and Josh and Dyson catching JCW. So he's really got to make a decision here. If it was me, I'd be diving into the pit lane now to cover off these guys behind us.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, JCW's last lap was a 23-second to Foster with a 21.89. So he really needs to do something. Needs to pull the trigger now, or he's going to get left behind when he comes out after his stop.
Yeah, most definitely. Like you can see there, they're right on his back door now. So
they've effectively unlapped themselves now, and instead of being 2 laps down, they're only 1 lap down on JCW.
yeah, definitely. So they'll get that lap back when JCW comes to the pits.
So have a look at this. Foster's now all over the back of Dyson's car.
So I'm going to call that halfway, JP. We're on lap 100 of 197, so pretty close to halfway.
Yeah, they're doing really well. They had a few early mishaps there, but they've found their rhythm and they're doing well. Just a message here by Brad Ellis and JCW's a sitting duck. Early indications. I'd have to agree with you there, Brad, but JCW's no slouch when it comes to tactics. So maybe he's saving that best set for the very, very end, so he can really run hard at these guys. What he needs now is he needs a caution.
Yeah, definitely. That'd certainly help him.
But as you can see now, Dyson and Foster, they're back on the lead lap now. So actually they're 1 lap behind JCW, and they'll make that lap really quickly. Dylan Davies dives into the pits now. Last lap for Carol Walden at 23.20. Foster was a 22.20. Dyson at 22.20 as well. So they're hunting him down at a second a lap.
Yeah, I kind of sort of seen this now. I think I agree with Brad, and hopefully we'll see Brad back on the track next week. He's still recovering from his knee op, so he had a run last week, but yeah, hopefully we'll see him back on the bigger track next week. I definitely think JCW may have played the wrong cards here.
Although it's going to be interesting, Foster pitted on lap 90, Dyson on 91. We're now sitting at 106. So when JCW comes out, his tyres are going to be a lot fresher than those guys. So is he going to be able to hunt them down?
Yeah, he's pulled the pin. He's in.
Now let's have a look at this. We're riding with Dyson and Foster. JCW's in the pit. He's currently in the lane. He hasn't stopped at his box yet. And there you go. He's just been. They've just gone past him. JCW's in his box now, but Dyson and Foster are gone.
He's done the rights. He's getting left. He's underway. He's off.
So where does he come back out? He comes back out in 8th position, and he's only one lap down on Foster and Dyson. And he's in clear air as well.
Yeah, that's going to help him big time. Being in clear air. going to have no one racing him. He's not going to get into issues until he catches the cars in front of him.
That's really going to help him push hard now. He's going to be on tyres that are well, they're effectively what's that, almost 20 laps fresher than the guys in front of him. So let's see what he's going to be able to do with that. But I mean, I guess there's a point where the tyres plateau, and although they start to keep degrading. And here we go, caution. Let's have a look at the replay here. Oh no!
That's unfortunate for Josh. Let's hopefully he hasn't got too much damage done there.
Yeah, and Reese just basically just crossed over in the front, just across the front end of Josh, and he had nowhere to go. And looks like Scott was involved in that as well.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Scott had anywhere to go. I might see if I can duck down and have a quick word while we're under the caution with Scott. I don't know if he'll come up and talk to us, but I can definitely go down and see how he's going.
Now, it's going to be really interesting on the restart now, because now they've bunched back up again. Josh Carroll-Walden's going to be on much fresher tyres. Looks like he'll get the lucky dog, I think. And he should be able to carve through the field on the restart. Yeah, 100%. Brad Allison, you just said, amazing the different strategy for two teammates, Foster and JCW. Although maybe that was something that they decided to do, was to split different strategy calls, see what was going to work best.
Yeah, definitely. I've just ducked
Foster's
down
it
that.
again. So
I'd say he's just topping off with fuel.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Just take a lick of fuel and he's back out again.
Yep. Now I've just ducked down and had a quick word to Scott. He said he just had nowhere to go. Absolutely could not avoid Josh there. And yeah, so he's fairly damaged, but he's going to see what damage he can get fixed through this caution period, and then keep coming out and going back in to get the car repaired.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he was just the innocent bystander in all of that, and how the fortunes changed so quickly. JCW goes from being, I guess, having to do all the work to being in the box seat now on the restart. He's going to have the freshest tyres of any of the cars around him. So he's really going to be able to push fairly hard and start carving his way through these other cars.
Most definitely.
Now, Dyson and Foster are still first and second. Dyson didn't pit for a lick of fuel there, so that's probably going to affect him on his last stop, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. Edwards played the smart card there, duck in, so he's got to stop shorter for the last lap, and can get out quicker.
And given where they were on the road, it hasn't affected his position, so he's still in second place. And it looks like it's going to be Phelps and Carroll-Walden for the lucky dog. They'll get their lap back.
Yeah, I'm showing a 8 and 3 laps down, so I'm not sure if that's right.
I think that might have been Phelps that the pace car released there. Yeah, it was. It was Ruben Phelps and Josh Micklemore. So here they come to join the back of the train. Sorry, it was Ruben Phelps and Josh Carroll Walden.
And Dyson started early again. He's taken a jump.
Foster's been able to stick with him. Oh, have a look at this. Mackenzie's not
We got
letting...
one down again in the background. Paul Draby's gone around. It looks like he's been able to keep it going. So they haven't thrown a caution, which is good. So, well, good for racing, but bad for Paul there.
And while all of this was going on, Foster's been able to claim the lead. So let's have a let's go back and have a look at this. On the outside, no less.
Yeah, I'd say that line there, that middle line has started to rubber up, and yeah, he's just been able to keep the momentum up and keep the run going. So, and now it looks like he's gapped a little bit on Darren.
And I think that might have played into his hands as well, because just as he was making a move on Dyson sort of blinked out, which probably made it possible, or Darren had to sort of back off a little bit. But he's actually been able to get around Dyson now.
Yeah, looks like it's starting to heat up. Even with being so far out from the finish, these guys at the front now are starting to play for their sheep stations.
Yeah, they've decided to pull the trigger early and get to the getting, so to speak.
Most definitely.
Now, we haven't really had a look at Josh Carroll Walden. Ed Foster's last lap was a 21.78. Mackenzie was a 21.77. Carroll Walden though was a 22.36, but that's probably more because he's stuck in a bit of traffic.
Yeah, definitely. Well, he's got Ruben behind him, so, and Daniel Aguilar Bates in front of him. So, yeah, he'd definitely be battling there.
He could also be playing the long game and just conserving tyres. Not sure. I mean, he is kind of in the box seat now. If he can run his tyres long, he'll have the freshest set of tyres for the last stint.
Most definitely, and he's a smart man. He's been around stock car racing for a while, so he'd have his strategy worked out in his head and know what he wants to do. So we'll just have to wait and see. And only a car up in front of him is Josh. So they may end up teaming back up together to try and work through to the lead again.
Yeah, absolutely. This time Foster and Mackenzie have basically broken away from the pack. This is going to be very interesting though, because we know Mackenzie has in the past had a...
Oh, we've got to go.
Another caution. Let's go and have a replay. Looks like this time it's Paul Jackson. I'm wondering whether if he hit the car in front of him as he was trying to go to the lower line.
Yeah, might have to go back on board with Paul.
Oh no!
JP.
Oh, look at that! JCW was involved in that as well.
I'll see if I can get a comment off JCW just quickly. I'll leave you there for a minute, JP, and I'll duck down and see if we can get a comment off him.
Yeah, he's just tagged the car in front of him and just come down on him, and JCW had nowhere to go, and that is not going to be what JCW wanted to have happen tonight.
Hey JP, I just ducked down and had a quick chat with Edward and JCW. JCW's got a little bit of damage on the bonnet, but he said he'll be good. He's in getting it repaired. And I just had a quick chat with Mr. Foster, and he says he's good to go to the end on them tyres.
So this is going to be some interesting racing here. So we've got 38 laps to go. I think if we see another caution though in the next 10 or so laps, probably expect these guys that have got another set of tyres in their pocket, and that should be pretty much everyone in the pack here, dive in for a set of tyres.
If I was in that lead pack and we got another caution, I'd definitely be diving in for another set of tyres, regardless.
Yeah, and with and as they say, safety car breeds safety car. With the caution periods that we've had back to back, you can rely on there being more cautions before this race is done.
Yeah, definitely.
Trevor Micklemore saying 31 will be happy with that. Yeah, it'll even things up for him. You know, really disappointing for Josh. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, really.
Yeah, definitely. I can see it's a busy night for the race admin post race. Got a few things to go back and have a look at, and yeah, see what comes of it next week.
Yeah, 100%. Here we go. They're forming up again. Getting ready to go to the restart. This time it's going to be Foster that's going to control the field.
And Ed's gone a little bit early too. He's
Yep.
they all seem to like to get that run off that turn 4.
Yep, that early run, but this has played into the hands of Darren McKenzie beautifully. He's using that high line to stick with Foster. He's got his nose out in front of Foster now. He's going to keep pushing. Foster's no slouch though. He said, no, I'm not having any of that. All the while, Dyson's just sitting in the back there waiting.
Yeah, don't be surprised if you just see Edward just lift his foot a little bit and let Darren take the lead and not battle with him.
I think Darren might have had a moment there, so he's had to drop in behind Foster. Foster goes to the high line now, and Darren goes down the bottom.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a little bit of a touch there, was there? This is some good close racing at the front between these three.
Yeah, some brilliant action between these three cars. Some great racing. Oh, have a look at this. Nice move by Dyson on McKenzie there.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if Darren rubbed the wall there from that shot.
He's setting out after Foster now. Now this is interesting stuff. Dyson has decided to pull the trigger and go racing now. I think Foster's decided that he wants to conserve his tyres.
There's still a long way to the end. We're 60 laps out from the end of the race, so it's still a long way to go.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing left to go here.
Most definitely. But I can tell you one thing, JP, that the person that I'm most impressed with tonight is, and I touch wood and hope I don't put the curse on him, is Mark Smith. As I said, he's in the running for the Rookie of the Year, and he's been up in the top 10 all night. So it's a really good job done by him.
Yeah, he was showing some remarkable turn of speed early on in the session. He's dropped back a little bit, but he's been there or thereabouts, and he's been in the top 10 pretty much the entire night.
He's definitely come a long way since the start of the season. That was an interesting photo. If anyone wanted to know, that's what the inside of the safety barrier looks like.
There we go. JCW's just made a move into third place there, just displacing Darren McKenzie.
I really think these three are going to have a ding-dong battle out towards the last 10, 15 laps, especially as you said, JP, if we get another caution inside that last 30, they've all got a fresh set of tyres sitting in pit lane, so I wouldn't be surprised if they all duck in and take them if we see another caution.
I'm almost hoping for no caution to see what happens here. Dyson's pulled the trigger and he's gone. I think he's trying to get a lead out on Foster and JCW. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if Foster was conserving his tyres a little bit and trying to go the long game.
Yeah, definitely. And what's still impressive though is as we said earlier, we're inside the last. We've got a caution, do we? I'd say we'll see a caution flag.
He's on the infield, so maybe that'll protect the caution. But let's see what happened here with Adam Ariel. Well, that could have been a touch. That could have been he could have done that all on his own.
I'm going to say that he did it all on his own, but yeah, it definitely looks like he may have done it by himself.
He's back to racing, no caution.
We might jump on board and crank it up again for a couple of laps there, JP, and
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're watching the tail end of the East Coast 240 now. 160 of 197 laps. Andrew Dyson has taken the lead again. He was leading for most of the first stint. Ed Foster got a jump on him, but now Ed's found himself about 2.5 seconds behind Dyson. But once again, I'm kind of thinking that Dyson has decided to pull the trigger, and Foster might be just conserving, and JCW might be doing the same thing as well, just conserving their tyres a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't be surprised if they've just backed it up a little bit and was saving that for the last 10 laps or so. And as I said earlier, if we see another caution, I guarantee you those top 6 guys will dive into the pits and take tyres. So I could almost put my life on it almost, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, I think you're right. I wouldn't put your life on it, but I think you're right. If we see another caution now, all bets are off. The top 5, if not everyone on the lead lap, will be in for tyres.
Yeah, definitely. Jamie Nankervis is the first person down a lap, so he won't want to come in until he gets the drive round for the lucky dog. So yeah, let's hope we get a caution. But on the other hand, as you said, JP, let's hope we don't get one, because it'll be interesting to see how these guys handle really worn tyres.
Yeah, absolutely. Things have got a little bit processional at the minute. This is probably the only real battle out on field right now. The battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. But you can rest assured that soon they're all going to start to turn the wick up and try to start reeling each other in.
Yeah, most definitely. I just going back through some camera shots there. There's definitely some wounded cars out there. We've got Reese missing the front bonnet, and Scott McClintock missing their bonnets. So they would not be having a great aero package there.
Their engines will be nice and cool though.
Most definitely.
But yeah, that won't be helping them much with no bonnet on their car.
Oh, Dyso's had to thread the needle between a couple of lap cars there.
Yeah, he's doing an awesome job.
I see these two cars together, both Andrew and Paul, and I think, oh, Barry's here. Yeah, it's not Barry, it's definitely Andrew.
Yeah, and even with that traffic, it hasn't really affected Andrew that badly. His last lap 22.7 flat. Foster was a 22.77.
Yeah, JCWs are coming through some lap traffic now, and I can see on the radio that they're calling him around. They're doing the right thing by him and sticking high.
Yeah, he's been able to get away from them fairly easily. So race on.
Yeah, definitely. I will say this, JP. Normally by this late stage in the race, we're down to very few cars on the lead lap. But we've still got 8 cars on the lead lap, so I'm going to throw it up in the air and say any one of those 8 cars can still win this race.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to come down to I guess a little bit more strategy to go. I think everyone now, every one of those top 8 are going to be just praying for a caution period. If they get that, just expect to see them all dive into the pits, take tyres, and then get out.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I know some of us, some people say, "Oh no, not another caution," but really, when it's like this, you'd like to see a caution and close the field up and have a have a real close battle for that last 10 laps and kind of sort of like a little sprint race at the end of a marathon.
Yeah, 100%. And what happens is everybody goes onto high alert when that happens, and that's usually when we see some of the hardest, best, and closest racing.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Jamie's just gone another 2 laps down. Um, so we've got the championship leader still on the lead lap, so that's good for him. But both are well, Paul Jackson, who's sitting second in the championship, he's now two laps down, and third place man Dylan Davies is still on the lead lap, but he's only got what's that a 3 point gap on 3 point advantage over Paul. So that hasn't really helped him in the championship at the moment.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And even though you see this man here, Darren McKenzie is now in 5th place. He's still in that consistent top 5, top 10. He's going to bag some more points, and he's just going to just ever so slightly keep extending his championship lead over the next car.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, the way if the race finished now, Darren pulls another 5 points on Paul, so it's really starting to look like it's Darren's championship. Um, so I would say the battle's going to be for second, third, and there's 5 drivers that can still get into those positions.
Yeah, absolutely. But what you can see now is this is the curse of I guess the curse of D McKenzie. He's used up his tyres early, and now he's struggling to maintain position.
And Ruben's one of those 5 drivers that can make it to third. Well, I'd say the best position that Ruben be able to make it to is third, but it's going to be a tough rear end of the season because we've still got 2 rounds of the Triple Crown to go, being Nashville and the Simshed 500 at round 35. So it's still anyone's silverware.
Going to see if we can show some off tracks here. Now we're looking at McKenzie. He's not showing any off tracks for the round. So even though he's dropping places, he's going to pick up bonuses for a clean race at this stage.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, the bonus points that are on offer is pole position, leader lap, most laps led, a clean race.
Just asked, good question from Brad, asked if there's a chase finish in the championship.
Not this year, Brad. There's things in the pipe work which I'm not going to release yet. I'm not going to say anything. There is some big changes coming to the championship next year, and that'll all be available on our webpage in November when we release the dates. This week we released some news that you, JP, are back next year as our broadcast partner, and as the owner of the league, mate, all I can say is I can't be happier than to have you back next year done a fantastic job this year with us so far.
Yeah, look, I'm absolutely stoked to be coming back next year and presenting the Weekend Warriors. Weren't you going to announce that you guys are going to be racing GT cars on the oval next year? Wasn't that it? I don't know.
That's an avenue we're looking at for a Sunday afternoon competition. Yeah, when we first started the league, we raced Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we're definitely looking at getting back into Sunday racing. We've been running some small legend cars on Sunday, and we're working hard to get some Sunday stuff back up and running.
Nice. I might be hitting the track on Sundays then.
Good to see you out here in your Triple Eight car, mate. It'll be I've seen the paint scheme, and let me tell you, race fans, it does look sexy.
Yeah, the old Triple Eight Goodyear car. I'd love to get that out on track and get it around. Although, having said that, I don't know how well I'd go on the ovals. It's been a very long time since I've done any oval racing.
Oh, JP, it wouldn't take you long to pick it back up, mate. It'll be definitely different with GT cars around here.
So we're back with Ed Foster now. Dyson had, well, at one point he had over a 3-second lead on Foster. Foster's been able to pin that back to about a 2.4, 2.3 second margin. So maybe the whole tyre conservation has worked for Ed, and he's now decided to sort of turn things up a notch or two.
Yeah, definitely. But with 6 laps to go, it's that 2 seconds can seem like 15 miles. So yeah, just see what happens. Lap traffic will play a part in this, I think.
Yeah, he's catching up. Well, he's put another tenth of a second on Dyson, but yeah, I think he might have to go and push a little bit harder than that if he's got a chance of catching him.
Yeah. Now the big question is, what happens to go to overtime? Do we see anyone dive to the pits for some tyres?
Well, look, we've seen it before and it's worked. I mean, JCW, point in case, jumping into the pits for fresh tyres on the restart of I think it was a green-white checker, and then being able to take out the race win.
Yeah, definitely.
So you look at 3 laps to go, but it's not over until they cross that finish line, until the proverbial fat lady sings. So yep, we're riding on board with Dyson now in the dying stages of the race. Time to see what he's capable of. Looks like he's got a fairly reasonable lead now. Foster's been able to eke back that margin to 2 seconds now, but I just don't think that he's going to be able to do any better than that.
No, not with 2 laps to go, unless we see an issue with Andrew's car. I think it's his race, and as you can see, the white flag's just come out. So.
And there we go. Race is over. Andrew Dyson, Ed Foster, JCW, first, second and third. Josh Micklemore able to fight back from that incident that he was involved in to take out 4th place. Fantastic work tonight, guys.
Yeah, very well done by all the drivers. I mean to say, there was seven drivers end on the lead lap, so that is absolutely fantastic from the lads tonight. Nice little burnout there from Andrew. He's really knows how to celebrate. He's doing an SVG.
Getting the drift on.
Most definitely.
Oops.
Oh, that's the end of that.
No points for hitting the wall. All right, that was fantastic. Let's go to the unofficial results then. So, Andrew Dyson takes out the top step with Ed Foster in second, Josh Carroll in third, Josh Micklemore in fourth, Ruben Phelps coming back for fifth, Dylan Davies in sixth, Darren McKenzie still finishes in the top 10 in seventh, Paul Drady in eighth, ninth, Jamie Nankervis, 10th, Paul Jackson. Going on to 11, Daniel Aguilera Bates, 12th, Tristan Koch, 13th, Scott McClintock, 14th, Adam Ariel, Rhys Bolitho in 15th, 16th, Ryan Barber, Mark Smith in 17th, 45 laps down. So in the end, Mark Smith must have had an incident to finish 45 laps down, and and what we're looking at here, Aidan Schultz in 18th, and with non-finishers, Nigel Patton and Mark Johansson once again not starting the race. Some pretty poor driving from Mark. No, sorry, mate. Glad to have you in commentary, helping out tonight.
It's all good, mate. Yeah, it's a bit of fun coming in here every now and then with you, and sometimes when Zach can be here, we can have a laugh and have a chit chat.
Yeah, very, very, very different style of commentating to the venerable Zach Caban, but tonight he's in Coolum. Actually, he's up my end of the world doing some live commentating. So I thought we'd leave him, give him a night off, and you and I could take care of business. So let's bring in our race winners and we'll have a chat to them.
Yep, most definitely. Well, gentlemen, congratulations on the top three finish. I guess we'll start with third place first, JP, and go forward.
Absolutely. Josh Carroll Walden, third place. Well done there, mate. Congratulations.
Thanks, JP.
You did get yourself into a little bit of strife there towards after the first stint. I think you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, essentially, I was just, minding my own, drive along, doing my own thing, and just car spun in front of me from contact in turn 4, and I just, all I could do really was just slam the brakes, and copped a little bit of damage, but I wasn't too, overly concerned because it was only, it was a lighter tap, really. Like I wasn't billowing smoke or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from where we were sitting, it kind of looked worse than what it actually was. And when Mark came back up, he said, "Look, JC's okay. The damage doesn't seem to be too bad. He'll jump in the pits, get it repaired, and carry on." So, and that seemed to work for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it did. Like, I didn't have a huge amount of time repairing it. I think only about 20 to 30 seconds I had, making everything a little bit more straight until the pace car came around and I'd get out of the pits. But I was gonna intend to basically keep coming down and any and all preceding cautions after that. But we ran good into the end there. So yeah, and I took fresh tires as well, which definitely helped me wrap up P3.
Yeah, good work there, mate. Mark, anything that you'd like to add?
No, JCW just answered my question. I was going to ask him how was his tyres at the end, but with him taking that fresh set, it seems like it worked for you, JCW.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it did. And I still had a spare set in reserve. If we had late yellow or we went into overtime. So yeah, I managed my tyres quite well, and just basically pitted fairly late, which set me up well for that second caution and that second restart. So yeah, quite happy with how I managed the tyres tonight.
Yeah, you've done a fantastic job. Just looking at the championship, I know we're jumping ahead a bit there, JP, but you're in a chance with being out of position or get up into P3 by the end of the season. Do you think you'll be able to run most of the rest of the season, or are you going to be hindered with real life commitments?
Yeah, I mean it's a good question, but yeah, like it's a bit too hard to tell at this stage. There's still what another 6 races left in the season, and 2 of them are double points. So yeah, there's a lot still to play out this year, both with my own commitments and with Weekend Warriors League. So yeah, I like to say yes, but again, we'll just see how we go and yeah, see where everyone finishes.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I know you boys are busy, but I can tell you from an admin side of things, you're more than welcome to turn up and race whenever you like. Um, and it's the same with everyone. Real life commitments sometimes get in the road of sim racing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Like it's fantastic that you guys run these races on Saturday night. Where it's more of a longer race than say the standard NIS race or a few other leagues out there. So yeah, it's really good to come in here when I can on Saturday nights and just go for a long good run.
Yeah, definitely. Back to you, JP. We'll move on to second place. Mr. Foster.
Yeah, absolutely. Ed Foster, second place tonight. No surprises, mate. Whenever you run, you're usually there or thereabouts. So well done. Congratulations tonight.
Yeah, thanks. It's like whenever I run, I'm normally second. I've done 4 races in this series so far, and I've been second to a different guy every time. So I've got a lock on that bridesmaid position, that's for sure.
Yeah, but we were kind of commenting while during the race, thinking, it kind of looks like Ed's just going to conserve his tyres for a little while and maybe make a late run. Was that something that you were trying to do, or you were consciously thinking about, or it was just go time after the restart there on the last caution?
Oh, look, certainly tyres are something you always have to manage whenever you're doing a race in one of these cars. So it's always something that's in the back of your mind, and you're always sort of managing that. Certainly at the end, that last stint run home, I knew that if another caution came out, I was definitely coming down for tyres. So I was giving it as much as I could reasonably give it without overheating them. But yeah, and I couldn't believe it ran green to the end, to be perfectly honest. I was keeping that set of tyres in hand. Obviously, I pitted a bit before Daiso did and grabbed that third set of tyres. And when that next caution came out that turned out to be the last caution, I was certain that there was going to be another one. So I stayed out. Didn't want to use up all the tyres that quickly. And yeah, if we got a green flag run, all things being equal, I think I may have had something for him on the longer runs. But yeah, certainly on the short run, he was very quick, and that tyre advantage he had at the end was just too much to overcome. So yeah, P2 it is. And yeah, that's the way the style of racing is. You've got to run with a crystal ball sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And we were commenting about that in the booth tonight, saying, if a caution comes out, at least everyone on the lead lap's going to jump in for a fresh set of tyres, and then it's really going to be on to the end. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case. It stayed green for the entire time once that last caution period was called. Mark, anything you'd like to add, mate?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Edward, I was hoping for a caution for you. I was I was kind of sort of saying to JP that yeah, it's going to be interesting if the caution comes out, and I kind of sort of was praying for your first win with us.
Yeah, look, I mean, let's not pretend that a caution would have been some sort of silver bullet for me either. I mean, Daiso was very quick on the short runs, and the longer that last green flag went on and the less laps we had to go, the higher likelihood he would have been able to hold us off, because I don't think I really had too much for him on the short to medium length runs. It was really the longer stuff that I was feeling pretty confident. So Certainly, a caution would have made it interesting. Might have led to a bit of side-by-side racing, but let's not pretend that it was some sort of guarantee of a victory. If it had come out, it just would have given us a chance I didn't have otherwise. So at the end of the day, Daiso called it right, and he won the race, and that's what the record book will show, and he absolutely deserves it. So there's no regrets there. Just would have been more for excitement purposes than anything else, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna ask you with this race and with the oval. What do you prefer? You prefer the shorter tracks, or you like to get out on those super speedways?
I hate super speedways. I'll take a short track any day of the week.
Well, let that go into the record books, ladies and gentlemen. It's the first person that's ever said they'd rather a short track than a super speedway.
Yeah, well, short track, you get good racing no matter what. So, it's going to be close. It's everything. And, bump and banging, you don't have to worry so much about the aero. You don't get aero push, and you can overtake cars without having somebody behind you and wondering about what somebody else is doing. You kind of have control of yourself. So, yeah, short tracks for me every day. That's my
Yeah, definitely. All right, Ed, we'll leave it there for a minute, and we'll go to first time starter and first time race winner, Andrew.
Hey guys, how you going? Thanks for having me in. Yeah, thanks, dudes. It's good to jump into the league. The boys let me know about it, and a few regular faces in here, so it's good to get amongst it.
Yep. So, your tyres. How were you for tyres at that last stint? Were they starting to struggle, or do you think if the race had been longer, you'd been able to hold Edward off?
Well, I think I had a nice enough gap, but you guys have probably picked up on it. I was struggling a little bit in the longer run there. I probably got a little bit of damage earlier on in the race there, and I think that might have hurt the tyre on the long run. That, and I was, trying to have a reasonable go as well in that last stint when the tempo kind of, came up a bit because there's not as many laps to go. But if there was a few more laps in that, who knows? Ed probably would have got back to me, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Excuse me. So do we look at seeing you for the rest of the season, or do you have commitments on Saturday night that's going to hold you away from racing?
Some Saturday nights I do have commitments with some other leagues and stuff. Not over leagues, but for some circuit racing league stuff. But I'll definitely jump in because this seems like a good bit of fun. Like the guys were saying, the longer races slow the tempo down a little bit, so it's not as intense and it's a little bit more relaxed and makes it a little bit more enjoyable. I actually really like the really long runs. It's good fun. That's when you get the most satisfaction out of looking after tires and stuff like that, which is a part of oval racing that I really enjoy. So I'll definitely come back in when I can and get amongst it.
It'll be good to see you back, and maybe you can stir up the championship a little bit, even though it's so late in the season, which will make it interesting.
Yeah. I don't know about stirring up the championship. I mean, these guys know how to race, and if they're out there racing for points, and I'm out there just racing for positions, really, they'll race me accordingly, and I'll race them accordingly, basically. So I don't know about stirring up a whole lot, but and at the same time, they'll be having a red hot go, and so will I. So it'll be good racing, no doubt.
Yeah, most definitely. Anything you'd like to add there, JP?
Mate, nothing other than congratulations on the win tonight, Andrew. Mate, once you got out in front there in both those stints, you seemed to really take control of the race and just manage it from the front.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, yeah, I think that first stint I probably didn't quite get the memo on taking it a bit easy like everybody else did. And then, no, that second stint, yeah, I tried to get on with it as much as I could, and I had the tyre advantage, so that probably showed up a fair bit at the start of it there. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with that.
Good racing, guys. Fantastic from everyone tonight. And I guess we'll start with a few thank yous from you guys. We'll kick off with Josh, mate. Anyone that you'd like to send some shout outs and thank yous to?
Shout out to the Weekend Warriors League and all the admins and all the work they do behind the scenes, and shout out to my 2-3 other teammates, Jason Hardigan, Norman Clark, Daniel Heddersheed, and just team sponsors, Ferguson Group Media, Bridgestone Select, Race Magazine, Two Fat Blokes, and AJ Insurance Services.
Fantastic. Over to you, Ed. Floor is yours, mate.
Yeah, just I guess the exact same stuff that Josh just mentioned. He obviously gave the sponsor shout out already. So, Weekend Warriors for putting the league on, and obviously yourselves for putting on the broadcast. And obviously a shout out to Darren McKenzie. We all know the situation with him at the moment. It's good to see him sort of still out on the track. And just a reminder, I suppose, that we're all sort of thinking of him at the moment as his family goes through a rough point. So, thoughts with him.
Okay, thanks very much. And Andrew, anyone that you like to send some shout outs to?
Yeah, of course. So you guys, Mark and JP, for putting on the whole show, the broadcast, the league, and everything like that. Shout out to all the guys racing tonight: Ed, Joshua, Ruben, Darren, all those guys I got side by side with. There was a few other guys out there as well. So good fun tonight. So congrats to those guys, and look forward to racing next time. And thanks to our sponsors on the car, Simrix.com, Southwell Lifts and Hoist, Phoenix Smokers. There's a few others on there, but I won't bore you with all the details. Thanks again.
Brilliant. And while we have you, Mark, any shout outs that you'd like to send, mate?
Oh, mate, shout out to everyone that turns up. And I'm having a bit of internet issues, JP. That's why you haven't got the results yet. So I'd apologise for that. But all my race admin, they're up there at the moment looking at things and going over the race. Everyone behind the scenes that puts in so much time with us. And again, congratulations to our top three. It's great to see these boys turn up when they can. Just the fans for tuning in and watching.
Fantastic. And look, even though we don't have the complete results, we do have unofficial results. So I think let's get those unofficial results and see where everyone's standing at the minute. So there we go. Darren McKenzie is now on my favourite number, 888 points. Now I don't know what's going on here. We seem to have another glitch. So let's get out of this and we'll see if we can get these points back up again.
Definitely a night with internet issues. By the looks of it, right up and down the east coast. Well, I'll just jump back to Andrew for a minute. Where are you, Andrew? In this big wide world?
Yeah, whereabouts in the world? I'm down in Victoria, just in Wallen actually, which is not too far out of Melbourne town. About maybe 60 minutes or so these days out from main Melbourne town. So. At about 20 minutes from the metropolitan area proper, so not too far out of town, but a good little spot.
Yeah, okay. It's just that I'm in country Victoria. I'm having issues. You were blinking a few times there through the race, and JP's up in sunny Queensland, COVID-free Queensland, and he's having issues.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's up the whole east coast, but I've been pretty good lately. It just seems to be these last few days. It's kind of caught me out, which is pretty frustrating. I'm sure it is for you guys as well, but hopefully we can all get it sorted.
Yeah, definitely. It's just something that happens, and we do apologise to our fans that have tuned in tonight. Any luck there, JP?
None whatsoever. So unfortunately, those points will have to be put up on the website. But we seem to be having a glitch that we can't fix at the minute. But while we're here, I'll send out some shout outs myself to Weekend Warriors for putting this league together and every Saturday having these great races. Obviously, Short Shift Sim Racing magazine as well. Great publication if you guys want to check that out. These awesome track cameras that you see during the broadcast from Track Cams for Gourmet. So if anyone is looking at doing any broadcasting, go check those guys out, and of course SDK Gaming for all of the overlays.
Yeah, I'll just say, yeah, definitely go check them out, but not on Saturday nights.
No, but that's okay. That's okay. You don't have to check them out on Saturday nights because we have them during the week as well, and we'll get to that right now. So starting Tuesday, and this Tuesday will be the final round for the Real Sim Racing Australia Super Series. The guys are going to be at Bathurst. This is going to be an interesting one. So they're going to be running an extended super sprint round with a short sprint race to start, and then the second race is going to be a longer reverse grid. Yes, you've heard it right. Reverse grid race for the final race of the Real Sim Racing Australia Super Series. Then on Wednesday night, we're actually going to broadcast the Real Sim Racing Australia Super 2 E-Series, their top 10 shootout. That's going to go live at 7:50 p.m. And then after that, on the Thursday night, we will have the Real Sim Racing Australia Super 2 E-Series racing their final race at Bathurst. So a 41-lap enduro at Bathurst on Thursday night. That's going to kick off at 7:50 p.m. as well. And then, of course, back again next Saturday for Weekend Warriors Cup Car Racing action from 7:20 p.m. On the stations of SimShed Broadcasting.
Next week, JP, we're head to Kansas for the Arrowhead 400, 166 laps under lights again. So that'll be interesting. And I know the V8s through the week is going to be some interesting racing if last week is anything to do with it.
Yeah, we should be seeing some great racing up and down the field all through the week next week. The guys are absolutely primed and pumped for the last round at Bathurst. We always have our last round for the Real Sim Racing Australia at Bathurst, and of course on Saturday night should be some more exciting Cup Car racing action. That's pretty much it for me. Anything else that you'd like to add, Mark?
Just again, congratulations there, Andrew, Edward, and JCW on a great performance on a short track. And hopefully we see him back next week for some larger track action, and all our fans that have tuned in, and all the people that have sent us a message tonight over our media streams. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you through the week, and again back next week.
Yeah, absolutely. A big thanks to everyone who have joined us tonight on the platforms of SimShed Broadcasting, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. It's been some absolutely awesome racing tonight. Next week we're going to have plenty more of the same. So please join us for that. But from myself, JP, from Mark, from everyone racing tonight, and everyone in the crew, it's a good night from us.